Hey, I'm down here in the Villages, Florida, and today we're going to talk about a bunch of fun stuff. We're going to talk about insurance and our home's negotiable. And I went to the car show this weekend, which was kind of cool. Got rained out, but relic. And, would I recommend the Villages after being down here? Guest passes, all kinds of fun stuff. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson down here in the Villages, Florida, and like always, thank you so much for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate it. You guys are what makes this channel, and that's probably why I like doing these question and answer kind of things. I try to pull out questions and comments and stuff like that pertain to everybody, and maybe some people, pertain to people that are moving down here into Florida. And I also like to cover other things, such as the car show. I went on the car show yesterday, and Relic was playing down in the square, and it started pouring rain, so that's kind of funny. But the cool thing was, like usual, I got to meet a whole bunch of people that I converse with back and forth here on YouTube, and now all of a sudden, I have faces and voices and everything else to all of you folks out there, which is a lot of fun for me. It really is. And so we're going to jump into the car show here really quick first, but we're going to cover a few questions, answers on insurance, guest passes, and a couple other things. And then tonight I am going to the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, going outside the bubble with my friend Mary. Now, usually you see me go out with Bob and Liz on restaurant reviews, which are always fun, but Mary I tend to do a lot of things with. We kind of go outside the bubble and experiment with things going on right outside the Villages, and tonight we're going to an Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, so that should be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that, so make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so it says all, so you get notified of these things. And also, I just want to talk about, for those of you that don't live down here, the hurricane did come through, and unfortunately, it did strike up in the Panhandle, and things were kind of bad up there and along the coast. But here in the Villages, Central Florida, we usually don't get tacked too bad. Now, that doesn't mean, just blow it off, but usually we're fairly safe as far as the areas go, and that's going to come into the insurance thing and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get started at the car show. I am actually down here at the car show. This is kind of funny. I thought some people might get a kick out of this. At the car show, and Relic's playing, and so here's a bunch of cars out here. And it is raining out. I guess some people would call this a sun shower. But this is what I guess one of the nightly concerts looks like when there's a good band playing. I don't think the rain has stopped anybody. So they got their umbrellas out. There's still people out here dancing. This is Relic. You may have seen him at Ray's party. Hopefully you can hear me. But they're just quick showers. Some people waving over there. And I think it's kind of funny that nobody's leaving. Everybody's just kind of hanging out in the rain. And there's a big, I don't know if you can see it up there. There's a big rainbow up there. And I'm sure the lens kind of looks like my glasses do right now. But if you've never been to one of the car shows, it's kind of fun. I met up with a guy that, how's it going? That redid a 1972 Vet, kind of like the one I had when I was a kid. So that's kind of fun, but I'll turn it around so you can check these people out. Relic's really a good band. And if you've never been to one of the car shows, hopefully if it stops raining here, maybe stop off and see a couple of the cars. Okay, now the sun's coming out a little bit, but definitely doesn't stop anybody from getting how's it going? Doesn't stop anybody from getting into beer land. But these are some pretty cool cars right here. The Model A's, no Model T's. I guess these are, I don't know my older cars that well. Model A, I guess, but this thing's, I really like this thing right here.
This is good. Somebody told me one of these has actually, they put air conditioning in it. It's I'm sure the green wheels wasn't an original color. Pretty cool though. But right down here is, these are all the vets right down here. Hi, how you doing?
You missed the Mercedes group.
Oh, they left already?
No.
Oh no, I saw them coming in. Yeah. So here's the row of vets. Pretty cool. I gotta watch I don't get my equipment all wet here. But all kinds of vets. And of course the one I like right down there on the left is the white one, 1972. This is kind of a story, kind of runs through my channel itself. This is Mike. Introduce yourself, Mike.
I'm Mike. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin originally. And so anyways, I bought this Corvette, this 1972, from a friend of mine, Joy. And after storing it for her for about 10 years, and during COVID, took it completely apart and restored it. And shortly after that, my wife and I moved down here to the Villages. We live in DeLuna. And brought the car down, and we're members of the Corvette Club, which is one of the largest Corvette clubs in the country.
How many members do they have?
Over 400.
Wow.
And there's over 400 Corvettes.
A lot of Corvettes here in the Villages.
A lot of Corvettes.
But real quick, what did you do? What did you do to it?
Took it completely apart.
Check out the engine real quick before it starts raining.
Nut and bolt. I sent the engine out and had it rebuilt at a speed shop. But I took the body off and I sandblasted the frame, and then I repainted that.
Yeah, but we're gonna get out of the rain.
So it was a lot of fun to do that. It gave me something to do during COVID, and I made these YouTube videos, and that's sort of in a roundabout way how I met Rusty. And I put them out there. I didn't ever do that before, and I got like 40,000 views. So
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun because he was showing me the pictures. I was getting jealous, and I still am looking for my old car when I was a kid, a '69 Corvette. So maybe someday I'll find one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good hobby to have.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's one car, and there's a ton of them out here. If you like cars, they got so many car meetings and people doing car stuff around here. It's pretty cool. Maybe something you want to try sometime and hook up with the car clubs.
All right, let's go ahead and get started on some of these questions. And Julie writes in, Julie Becker, and thank you so much for watching, Julie. Really appreciate it. Hi, what is the difference between a guest pass and a lifestyle ID? I have to pick for myself and guests for an upcoming stay. The information provided was not very descriptive. I'm kind of beg to differ because I go through exhaustively what a guest pass is and what you can do and where to find the information. Right here is, you can go ahead and scan this. This will take you right to, or maybe it's over here, I don't know. That it'll describe what a guest pass is and how you can do that. That link is also on the video. If you haven't watched the video, it explains pretty much everything, but in a nutshell, when you come here as on a lifestyle, and I think maybe the problem is you're getting confused the difference between a guest pass and a lifestyle pass, or if you're doing a rental from somebody. If you're doing a rental, usually what will happen is whatever home you are renting, the landlord has the ability, and it's usually charged $50 or so, something like that, because that's what they're charged, to transfer that pass, that Villages pass, over to you. So you basically, when that happens, you have the ability to do anything that somebody else would do that lived here, period. That's it. You have all the rights and stuff like that to do that. Also, if you're here on a lifestyle visit, they will also give you a pass where you're pretty much, at least when I did it, entitled to do anything somebody living here would do. Now, when you are a guest, you are restricted from things, and you can do a lot of things, but you're put on the back of the line. And anybody that has anything to add to this in comments, very recent, please put it in down below, because a lot of people read this and they'll be able to find out information. But I would highly suggest that you go to the website, because things change all the time. Anyway, that's about it. There is a big difference between renting here and your landlord giving you the rights of a person that lives here and a guest pass. And just for instance, you can't go to a sports pool with a guest pass. You just simply can't do that. And you can't sign up for certain things ahead of people that live here with a guest pass, which like I said, which is different between a lifestyle and a renter's pass, have all the rights to people that live here. A guest pass has some restrictions, but for me to go through all those over again, you would kind of have to go back and watch the video or just go to that link. Anyway, on to the next one. Let me read this question off right away. Red writes in, and thanks for writing in. Appreciate it. And it says, great job, Rusty. Are these prices negotiable? And this has to do with I went down and did a video on the new Street of Dreams, which is it's a bunch of model homes. And it's more traditional the way they do things in developments than the Villages had done earlier. You go down there and there's a bunch of model homes, and in the model homes, there's salespeople in there, and in each one of the homes, they have like all the flooring that you can get and that type of thing. And that's where you go to pick all your stuff out, I guess. But those things are constantly changing. And what I mean by that is I was actually contemplating on buying another home down there. But the thing is, recently the Villages have gotten very restrictive on the custom things that you can do to homes. And I'm kind of waiting to feel that out, because they had originally created in Brownwood a whole sales center. I mean, it was huge with everything in there. And then they magically, when they built this whole new area, they closed that all down. And now, from what I understand, they are building a whole new sales center down there. Now, what's going to become of that, I don't know. Maybe there's more options when they're building homes. Who knows with the Villages, but it changes day to day to day, so you've got to check it out. Now, the question is, are these prices negotiable? And for people that live outside the Villages and are thinking about moving here, they may not understand exactly how things work down here. Homes sell so fast down here. Now, there is one exception. Homes sell so fast down here that pretty much the price that's out there is the price that it's selling for. If you have any other experiences with negotiable home prices, please put it down in the comments so people can learn from that. But like I said, prices change constantly. Now, I will say, I have to say this, I don't work for the Villages. I have nothing to do with the Villages. Just another numbskull on YouTube. And so, like I said, everything changes. You need to talk to their sales office. And I will tell you, they are extremely non-pressure, very pleasurable to talk to, full of a wealth of information. Great folks there, and that's been my experience. But for the most part, these home prices are not negotiable, at least at this time. Now, they may put sales on, they may have discounts if they're towards the end of a run, that type of thing. But anyway, I highly suggest you talk to a salesperson at the Villages for new homes. If it's a pre-owned home, you can either talk to the Villages or MLS. I dive into that in other videos, but there's definitely a separation between the two, an MLS salesperson and a Villages salesperson. Anyway, on to the next one. I think that might be insurance. All right, this deals with insurance, and I'm not an insurance salesman. I got nothing to do with insurance. I'm not an agent or anything like that. I will say, if you had watched that where I covered some insurance like that on my property, I was around $1,000 a year. I am with USAA. USAA is usually fairly on the cheap side. I just wanted to establish that right away. And that, because I was in the Air Force, I could get USAA insurance. If you have any questions about that, you're going to have to call them up or whatever, whether you're eligible for it. But anyway, Tom Kinney writes, I bought a house for $317,000, and I now pay $1,600 on a year. And it says my house is closer to $400,000, which is not true right now, but I'm probably a little bit above that. And you pay $1,000 a year. You see anything wrong with this picture, considering I only get what I need and no extra? I have tower insurance that the Villages set me up with. Now, I don't know whether you purchased your home recently, but you really have to compare apples to apples. In other words, you may have flood insurance wrapped up in that $1,600. That right there could be $300, $400, $500 a year. That price of $1,000 did not include flood insurance. And, that's a personal choice that you have to make, or that may be made for you by your mortgage company, whoever made you the loan. Also, we have sinkhole insurance down here, and you have to figure out whether you have catastrophic or not or whatever. That type of thing can be a huge difference. So, Tom, what you may think is necessary may not be necessarily what I chose to adopt into my home insurance. I may have a higher deductible than you do. So there's a bunch of little tweaks in there that can easily add up to that $600 difference. And they're huge differences, and they can add up quickly. And it depends on what type of neighborhood it is. Are you in a flood area right now that FEMA is changing? That type of thing can totally change things out. So you really need to do apples to apples and oranges. And this next question, or this next statement, really kind of brings that home. And so this guy wrote in, wow, I've never had an insurance policy in the $1,000 range. Been in Panama City since 1985. Current policy is $5,000. Paid $82,000 for his home in 1992. Checked out around all the quotes are at least $5,000 or more. Man, we are living in the center of Florida, the Villages. So look at this map really quick, because if you don't understand where Panama City is, I think about what just happened. Helene, the hurricane that just came through, and look where Panama City is, where this circle is, and look where the Villages is. Villages is in Central Florida, so obviously there's going to be a huge difference for the insurance companies. If you decide to live on the coast of Florida, then you are making a conscious decision that I like being near the coast, and it's worth for me to pay $5,000. Also, we don't know how, this guy could have a mansion. I don't know. 82,000 in 1985. Wow, that's a long time ago. And some of those homes in nice areas have appreciated up to over $1 million. So there you go. You literally have to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. That's about all I can help you with. If you are on an insurance policy, don't be afraid to call your agent up and say, hey, look, you guys need to go back in and compare something, or go out on your own. Look at Progressive, maybe Liberty, USAA, see whether you qualify. If anybody's been in your family in the past in the military, sometimes you can get USAA. Anyway, that's about it. Apples to apples, oranges to oranges when you're comparing insurance. On to the next question. Comment. I'm not sure what it is. Here's one that deals with one of the prior videos that I did. I got whole house surge protection in here. I know a lot of you guys have heard about this, but to me, it really is important, and this seems to be working. So I got another question on this. It says, Rusty, we just closed on our house, and we're wondering if you ever got a package from Lenhart put together about surge suppressant. Not only did I, but this week, they are actually coming out to do some more work. So here's the basic concept of it. You can get a whole house surge protection put in by them, and since I did mine, they've had different levels that they'll put in. The one that I had put in, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty much Cadillac. It has to be put in by a professional electrician, and that's why I had them do it. They actually did some kind of deal. You can call them up if you mention the videos, Rusty Nelson, and said, hey, I watched Rusty Nelson's video. Can you apply the discount? They'll go ahead and do that. And so now they have put packages together. And what I mean by packages, I had just the whole house surge protection done. And if you really get into this, electricity is going to find its way, the surges are going to find its way into your house any way that it can. Two of those ways that are not covered by a whole house, in essence, are your air conditioner and also your phone lines or cable lines or anything like that. If you think about it, a lot of that stuff is buried in the ground. In other words, your electricity is buried outside with the compressor and all that kind of stuff. And basically the way the surge protection works is there's a time distance between the surge and when those units can shut down the over voltage. And with a air conditioner, sorry about that, with an air conditioner, that length can be lengthened, the wire can be lengthened so that the surge will actually beat to the surge protector. So what I'm doing is I'm putting some protection on my air conditioner unit, dealing with that electricity, and then also stuff on my cables into the house, because you can unplug your TV, but if you have your internet on, you still have a cable coming into the house unless you have some other type of system, but that other system still has to have electricity. So there it is. So they're putting together a few packages. I think they have already put those together. And I think if you mention my name, like I said, I don't know exactly what they are. They're coming next week. I will have the video out of them actually installing it. I think John, the same guy's coming out, and he can explain it a lot better than I can. But I know exactly, because I asked them to come back and do it. Anyway, that's it. And stay tuned, subscribe, and you'll be able to see that next video. If you call them up, they'll be able to tell you what the packages are and the prices. Just remember, there are different levels of quality in the surge protection. The same thing as if you were buying a race car, buying a Volkswagen or buying a Ferrari or Lamborghini or something like that. Anyway, that's it. Hang in there. They are coming. And on to, I think this will probably be the last one right now. All right, getting down and dirty to the last little bit here. And Pam in Japan writes, I just discovered the Villages. Now, I got to tell you what, Pam, it was a surprise when I first heard of it. I hadn't heard of it before, and it was right before I'm going to tell you some of this stuff right here. I do have a few concerns about moving there, being a single senior. Heat and humidity. How terrible is it? I'm from New York, upstate mountains, and is not used to the hot weather. Alligators a problem? And what about hurricanes? Well, we just had one, so kind of had one. Otherwise, it seems like a great place to retire. Would you recommend it? Well, Pam, I really don't know that much about you. And as I say, for everything about the Villages, this is why they got 31 flavors at Baskin-Robbins. It's not for everybody. It may not be what you like. But what I think would be a really smart thing to do is when I came down here, I did what they call a lifestyle visit. And I actually had unusually 3 lifestyle visits for various reasons, but I managed to get the 3 lifestyle visits and I stayed here for a month. Now, with that said, I would watch, there's 2 videos. This is the first video and this is the second video. And they're actually the phone calls that I made to the Villages. And you'll see how kind of, I'll say nonchalant, low pressure they are. And I would come down and do a lifestyle visit. Make it a vacation. Come down here, have a good time, do some investigating. And if it's not what you like, there's no way to explain the Villages without coming here. There's, probably getting upwards of 150,000 people, probably. I don't know what the exact number is. If anybody knows, put it down in the comments. But there's a whole new family area and stuff, Eastport, Middleton, going in south of the Turnpike. And, talk to one of the salespeople. They will be as much as involved in your visit as you want them to or not. But I would definitely do a lifestyle visit. And be interesting in the comments to hear from people what they thought of their lifestyle visit. Anyway, that's it, Pam. That's the best thing I can say for you. Also, look around at the other YouTubers on here. A lot of them have some really cool stuff. And tonight, like I said, I am going with a friend to an Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy kind of pop-up thing in Ocala. So we're looking forward to, we try to do things outside the bubble. And if you look back at the video I did on the freezer, which was kind of fun, Mary, who went to the freezer with me, is going to go on this trip, and we're going to explore this tonight. I think we're going to go to Tony's Sushi up in Ocala. I know it doesn't sound like a sushi place, but it's kind of a fun place, and maybe I'll get the camera out and do a little reviewing. Anyway, as always, let me say, I'm glad the Villages completely escaped my phone's beeping, the hurricane, and there's a few more brewing out there. Could be on the way, but I'll keep you posted on those if they're going to involve us. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I really hope you'll subscribe. I can't tell you how much that helps. And if you put a thumbs up or just leave a comment that you like the channel, or even better yet, let me know some of the things you may want to hear about. I will tell you in a few days, I'm getting a guitar. So part of my retirement to go out, and I figured it'd take me a week or two. I'll be Jimi Hendrix, no problem. And anyway, yeah, in my dreams. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me. You have a great day and a great rest of your weekend. And I will either see you back here on YouTube, or I'll see you down here in the Villages. Hey, and thank you so much to all the people that stopped by to say hello at the car show out in the pouring rain. I'll talk to you later.